Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Death Stranding. I'm Serious JG. I went back to check SoundSync. Not that there's really anything to check it by in that video, but I hit upon the thing where I mentioned my niece and I having a song about monkeys, about monkey who loves underwear. I just want to make it clear. I don't mean in like an oolong from Dragon Ball kind of way. Yeah, that would be weird to have a song like that I sing with my little 7-year-old niece. Speaking of nieces and nephews, I need to get with Bobo and determine what can be discussed and what internet nicknames will be used for certain unidentified things. Alright, so we're basically way off in the distance. There is Central Knot City, whatever Knot City it was. Oh, don't give me ghosts again. If so, it's a good thing I saved. We're right on the outskirts of a big ghost zone that was a plot ghost zone to get the engineer on board. But that was a long time ago, and I think we're outside of it, but we're kind of on the periphery of it. Yeah, let's not tip the truck over at this point, JG. So, I mean, we're going the right way. We just need to find the path of least resistance here. And we're disconnected from the chiral network because Peter Englert, the pizza aficionado, is not on the chiral network. I'd ask him why not, but we've never met him.
Beginning scan. Scanning Bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Alright, let's deliver his damn pizza. It's flat. It's took us a little while to get there, but it's within the time limit you gave us. I think it's within 30 minutes, actually. I mean, not in screen time because of save loading, and but yeah, I think we delivered it within the Domino's guaranteed time.
Displaying performance evaluation.
0 damage. Took us about 17 minutes, so yeah. We should get an S for this, probably. Yeah. We still don't have a full star from this guy? One more bots completed deliveries. Delivered mostly destroyed whiskey to, I understand Heartman's having a difficult time of things, but if he's going to be stopping his own heart regularly, and then coming back, I don't know that whiskey is something I would mix in. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I've had way too much whiskey over the years, and
Thank you for your
I've allowed myself to have whiskey again here more recently after everything I've been through. But it's not probably something that you want to be doing while routinely stopping your heart. Well, it is what it is. All right. So, I guess maybe the thing to do now is to take this truck back to Lake Knot City. That's what it's called. Because, some other player might actually be able to get some use out of it. Although I guess it won't be available to anybody who hasn't progressed far enough in the story to unlock the defensive truck. But I'm not going to be driving this thing all the way back to where the plot wants us to be. I'm just not. There's no freaking way I'm taking this thing back manually. On behalf of the dead, I give you my undying thanks. Wait, so the guy actually is dead now? I thought he was dying. He died while I was delivering the pizza. Let's just read all these in case any of them have something to do with how we're supposed to advance the story. Times of great environmental upheaval invariably lead to mass extinctions. The organisms that manage to survive these extinctions do so by well, they're not extinctions then. Do so by adapting to their changing circumstances. But what circumstances could possibly spur an ammonite to evolve an umbilical cord? Hartman and I both have hypothesized the answer to this question might be the beach. I don't even. I can't tell what that icon is supposed to be. My eyes aren't that good, and the screen is. I got a big screen TV, but it's on the wall, and this game likes tiny, tiny icons. The key differences between the umbilical cords observed in these entities and those found in ordinary mammals, which suggests that they're uniquely equipped to survive in a world connected to the other side. The Death Stranding has, by any measure, resulted in environmental upheaval on a scale comparable to that which accompanied past mass extinctions. We'll need to study these events more carefully to figure out how best to proceed. Thoughtful emoji. Evil biologist. The Death Stranding was inevitable. It was inevitable. How are you doing, Sam? Sam. Oh, it's without meaning to, I jumped into the voice. Like, I used to listen to books on tape at a job I had, and I've never talked about this. I was a fan of at least some of the Discworld books, and there's a character from the Sam Vimes novels. He's like the hard-boiled detective, but he ends up becoming a duke. Like he ends up he falls in love with and marries this very wealthy woman, but she was a wealthy like dowager, and she was like super fat. Um, and he was like, whatever. Like, there's no sense he doesn't marry her for money or anything like that. But yeah, like whatever. I don't need to explain the whole thing, but yeah, like her voice, the character of Sybil Vimes, Lady Sybil, was when you get books on tape. Sometimes you'll get books on tape with multiple people doing different voices. Like I remember whatever that like weird feminist retelling of the Legend of King Arthur. I forget what that book, like Mists of Avalon. I heard that on tape, and it had different people doing the male voices and the female voices, and a female person who was reading just the narration. But usually, like if you get books on tape of a book, it'll be read by one person who will do character voices sometimes, and like they had a woman read the witches books from the Discworld series because the majority of the characters in that who were going to have speaking roles were female. So occasionally a male character would show up, and you'd have a woman doing, their impression of a man's voice. But most of the books were read by a guy, and he did a voice that I was inadvertently like doing the exact voice he does for Lady Sybil. I was doing for this woman, and then she went Sam, and that's when I noticed because like she calls her husband Sam. He's Sir Samuel, the Duke of Ankh-Morpork, but she calls him Sam. How are you doing, Sam? Me, I've been doing some thinking, and I've realized maybe there's no need to fear extinction. Maybe it's inevitable. It is inevitable. The tar, the beach, creatures with strange umbilical cords, all of it existed long, long ago, and now. Those past extinctions all took place, but in spite of, no, because of it, life evolved and endured. Delve back into the history of the universe, and you'll see the same thing happened over and over again. Explosions, death, life. We humans might be gone forever, but life will prevail. I'm sorry, Sam, I know I shouldn't be saying things like this while you're out there risking life and limb for our sakes. Don't worry, I'm not giving up. How can I? I'm terrified of death like everyone else. I'll stop speculating now and get on with my research. Smiley face, some kind of other emoji heart. These people have so much more emotion in their emails than they do when you meet them in person, which is, you know, Kojima's an artiste, as it were. I think that is part of his point. He's talking about this world where people can't, like, people are awkward around each other in person, but like people will post stuff on the internet and have like all flair and flamboyance, and then in real life they'll be like that's part of what he might be getting at intentionally. I've been pointing it out as a flaw of the game, but the more I think about it, the more that might be part of what he's getting at here. On behalf of the dead, I give my undying thanks. My dear Mr. Bridges, you cannot possibly know how perfect your timing proved to be. At the very moment your pizza arrived, finally, my pizza has arrived. My dear father had all but set out on his final journey to the great beyond, which is why I wasn't able to thank you, you understand. But you will surely find comfort in the wonder your delivery wrought. Before he breathed his last, Daddy Dearest took his first bite of pizza, the remainder of which I later consumed out of respect. He proclaimed it divine, the nectar of the gods themselves. Legendary heroes, compared to the gods of pizza themselves. And when he finally passed, his smile was sublime. May I say, on behalf of both of us, that whoever prepared it is a wizard of the culinary arts. You have, as ever, my undying thanks. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, I got confused there for a minute about what buttons do, which caused some minor issues, but we'll figure it out. We're back on the chiral network. It is a bit of a pain in the ass place to be driving this truck, but it's not the worst thing that we've ever navigated. It's not like trying to drive through a forest that's in a mule base. That really didn't work. At all, at all, at all. Now this place is a pain in the butt because there's like a very specific way you have to approach it, or there's a super plot force field. Which is why in the past I didn't even bother. I went to that little hideout over there, which is presumably the place somebody built to make it slightly more convenient to do the Peter Englert missions. I have no doubt that's actually what that's about. Okay, turbo speed boost. That's exactly what we need at this moment. Irish side. What's up?
Sam Porter Bridges. Okay.
Alright, so we'll take everything out of here. And we'll put it in... You know, I'm not even going to put it in a private locker. I'm just going to put it in a public locker. Because it didn't really cost us that many resources. The purpose of it... We didn't end up needing it. But the purpose of it was as a backup if we couldn't get all the way to Peter Englert in our truck. So I'm fine with just donating all of this because we're going to lose it anyway. It will just stay here. We're not going to be able to keep it or take it with us because I'm going to be using a... not be able to reclaim any cargo you place in a shared location. Fine. We're not going to bother getting back on foot to where the plot wants us to be. We're going to use a fragile jump. Meanwhile... Oh, Elder is apparently still alive because he's still requesting stuff, so that's nice. I'm under the impression he can die if you don't if you never deliver him medicine. It's plot required that you find him, but it's not plot required that he join the the NWO. It's interesting. We actually have the Bridges style truck, not one that's been painted funky fresh colors. Anyway, so we will rest in a private room. Your work is appreciated. Obey, conform, consume, reproduce. Sorry. I haven't seen They Live in years, but I saw a brief video. I saw like a part, like Red Letter Media is doing this thing where two of their guys are ranking. Oh, I'm blanking on the guy's name who actually directed that. He's John Carpenter. He's done a lot of really fun movies over the years. Like, I love John Carpenter's Vampires. It's like the freaking silliest thing ever. It's like a parody where like the actors don't know they're in a parody. Almost. I don't know. But anyway, no, they talked about, over the course of a video about John Carpenter, they talked about They Live, which I hadn't thought about in years, and it made me happy to think about They Live.
Thank you for your generosity.
I've got one who can see. A blood bag filled with your blood has been placed in your private locker. How nice. Did I, we need to make sure, like I carried it with me. I hope I put it in a private locker or something. I guess maybe I figured it would come with me when I teleported, but it didn't. We need that freaking grenade launcher. I am not heading over for like the end game section, which I imagine is going to have a lot of fights against either terrorists or super ghosts or both. Like, I'm assuming that's going to be a big part of the end of the game. Like, a lot of combat and maybe getting away from deliveries a bit. Because the whole plan is we're going to warp across the tar to get to an area that where the bad guys are holding our sister. So if we get there, and it just becomes a series of, like, the bad guys are like, "Oh, we'll give you your sister back, but first you must make all of these deliveries." I'm gonna be annoyed. Um, it might be less stressful than the combat, but actually probably not. The deliveries in this game can get really annoying. Okay, we're gonna poop and pee and 10 grenades. Yeah, we really needed to pee apparently. I always seem shocked by how many number one grenades we get, but I guess what I have to get to is it doesn't necessarily mean we're peeing a metric ton of pee every time we pee. It could just be that they get more out of the same amount of material for the grenades. It requires less actual source material than, say, the no, I can't. My brain is not working right now. So we got a problem in that. Oh, there we go. Is that it? I think that's it. No, that can't be it. There's too much stuff down. Yeah, that's not it. It's a safe house. There should be a safe house over here somewhere. Okay, this is annoying. But I think this is it. Yeah, because there's a terrorist base. I skirted the edge of it, came in directly from, this is where we need to go. Lucasima? Surma? Something? It's really hard to read the, Hey Sam, how you doing? I'm your love interest now that Mama is dead. I think I already was, but it's hard to say.
Remember how to do this? You need to close your eyes and picture your destination.
See, I'm not a very chatty protagonist, but I do feel bad for him in these situations where, like, it's obvious, even with the shades on, that he's really uncomfortable touching Fragile. I could joke around about, oh, well, she's sexy. Like, how could you not want it? Like, yeah, you have no idea whether Sam Porter Bridge. No, Sam. We know that he's not homosexual because his backstory is that he had a child, right? But I guess that doesn't mean he's not. Well, whatever. But the point I'm getting at is, like, he's not wanting to touch Fragile because he's icky. He's not wanting to touch Fragile because he has, like, a serious, you know, psychological condition, and I feel bad for him, even though he's a fictional character. Like, it seems like that would be a really uncomfortable way to live life. Anyway, we're back in the saddle again. So not 100% sure what we need to do right now. I guess we haven't checked in on Lou in a while. Customize our backpack. Yeah, it's already loaded up, which is good, because that to me suggests that we didn't leave any of our stuff behind. We have an extra battery, but mostly we just went with grenades. Examine equipment rack. We never really did get any kind of closure on that thing with Le Chiffre, who also designed the Death Star, trying to take us out. Let's check in with Lou. Lou! How you doing there, buddy? Alright, you can stop it now. Like, that's enough. Now you're going to have him headbutting it, and it's going to get weird, and it's a hallucination, and we've seen it before. You could just do it once to have a connection and be done. So just because he got out doesn't mean he was going to be hostile to you. I mean, come on. Weird. How much time we got left? It's too early to call it a video. Alright, so let's hop outside and see... I'm really not 100% sure what we're meant to do right now. But maybe just being here again, with time having passed, will cause Die Hard Man to call us up and move the plot forward. No longer on the power grid. Blue seems... Oh, see? No, we don't have our, rocket launcher. We don't have our rocket launcher. We need our rocket launcher. That is locked. Well, I mean... Shit, if I have to, I can do a return trip for that.
The only way west is through that. To make matters worse, I don't believe your PCC is capable of building anything that will get you across.
Hey, don't you trash talk my
There must be a
PCC.
way. We can't give up. Not with what's at stake. We'll see if we can't think of something here. But considering everything you've been through, I wouldn't be surprised if you've already got a few ideas of your own.
Yeah, I thought like a boat, maybe? Okay, so our current quest is find a way to cross the tar belt. So I thought your stuff got left at a private locker, but I don't know how that would work at these types of shelters. Ah, here we go. Claim materials. Private locker. Here we go. Here we go. I was a little worried. This thing has been damaged, though, unfortunately. So we could hang that on the tool rack. Okay. Actually, this inventory management will probably take us through. So we've got extras of some stuff. I think we'll take along extra grenades and blood bags. And I'll leave these 0, 1, and 2 grenades in this private locker. But we'll carry those. Because it's usually a good idea to have some extras of some of this kind of stuff. And our boots are not in great shape, but... Alright. So I don't need to have this mask activated. There we go. Oh, but did that, when I'm not actually wearing it, did it start getting stored? Yeah, it got stored on my back again, damn it. I was hoping I could just have the oxygen mask on, but like, on my head, but just like leave it open or something. That does not appear to be a thing that the game is going to allow to happen. Well... how much time we got left now? I mean, we could call it a video now, but... otherwise, we could just kind of wander around and see if we hit upon anything. It would be nice to close out this video with a sense of where we're going now, or what's happening next. Battery fully charged, fully armed with lasers. You destroy this thing. Yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do. He says, we'll try to think of something on our end, but you might have some ideas too. That really suggests that we're supposed to do something. Power gloves have almost been destroyed. I guess I'll have to get new power gloves at some point because they're so bad. There's ghosties over here. I mean, didn't seem like fighting them is gonna get me anything, but we have reached a point now where I can kill stuff with sneaking up to it and cutting their umbilical cords, which is far easier than what we'd been doing. It's not going to let me save now. Something popped, but I think it was in the real world, not in the game. Oh. Yeah, I'm realizing now I don't care too much about fighting them if there's no story reason I would have to. Yeah, I'd like to actually cut your umbilical cord. Isn't that a thing I'm supposed to be able to do? You know what? Let's call it a video. When we come back next time, we won't be here. I won't know what to do, but I don't feel like dealing with this. So, catch you guys next time for hopefully us figuring how to advance the plot and not worrying about this giant whale. Whoa, that is a new type of threat, though. Maybe fighting the giant whale is a thing that's going to advance the story. Phoebe's unhappy. Yeah, I was really... Okay, well, hold on. Let's see. Do I want to fight a big whale? I mean, there is something pretty cool about this. Like, the tar is bringing back buildings from the past or something. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be firing at right now. Oh, it's all the way over there, huh? Apparently I just missed it. Thought I'd shot at it, but it doesn't seem like the game agrees. Oh wow, that thing's got a lot of health. Oh, and they're guided. That's why it missed before. Having a bit of a hard time staying out of its way. So this video is going long because now I'm interested in fighting this thing, but I don't know that that is going to do anything story-wise for us. So many dead fish. Well, I know I'm sinking. I don't know what you want me to do about it. You're not a very supportive protagonist. Wait, are we fighting more than one? Or is it getting its health back? Either way, you know what? Never mind. We're calling it a video. This is going to take a million years, and I don't know that it's required. When we come back next time, I'm not sure exactly what we need to do.